Right. In the morning, we studied about diizo coupling. That was the last thing we learned. Revise this once again, students. Now, coming to the next reaction, Gatterman-Koch reaction. This you have seen this in benzene. Well, you were reading in benzene. I'm pretty sure you may have come across this reaction. So, the reaction is benzene. If you treat with carbon monoxide in the presence of an acid like HCl, we would end up having uh, ortho products and para products of CHO. This here and here. See how the mechanism drives. The lone pair present on the carbon will first get protonated, Cl minus will leave, so we would get this group. This is called acylium carbocation. So it forms like an acylium carbocation. Now this would act like an electrophile. This is its resonance form, and when we treat the same here, just what we have studied for benzene, I am doing the same thing for phenols. That's all. Now, when you treat the same thing like OH, when you treat that with HCO, what you will observe here that there will be an electrophilic aromatic substitution. So that pi would attack on that. This bond will get rearranged as a lone pair on oxygen. So we will get this carbocation, and this Cl minus will extract this H plus and aromaticity is retained. As aromaticity retains, you will get this product C double bond OH. It's a very simple case. Okay, so that's Gatterman-Koch reaction. See, when you say Gatterman-Koch, we will have carbon monoxide. Okay. If we take Gatterman reaction is with hydrogen cyanide, okay, with HCN in the presence of an Lewis acid AlCl3. Okay, and finally after hydrolysis, we would get the similar product here also, CHO and CHO at para position. Now see the mechanism. HCN being a weak acid, when you protonate this, the lone pair from nitrogen will be the one which will try to protonate it. Cl minus will leave, and to facilitate this, AlCl3 is being helpful, which means Cl will attack on AlCl3, increase the proton content, lone pair will attack on H plus, and we will get this HC triple bond NH, which is in resonance stabilized with this. As you can see, nitrogen can take lone pairs and carbon would have sufficient positive charge to act like an electrophile. So this will act like an electrophile. Again the same reaction, electrophilic aromatic substitution. So pi would attack there, and as it attacks, you can see I am directly writing the step now. I am not writing the elimination step. So we would get this as CH double bond NH. This is the imine form. So this is phenolic imine form on which hydrolysis has been done. Imines on hydrolysis will always break the carbon nitrogen bond, and that will make C double bond O. So that's how we will get this reaction. So Gatterman reaction or Gatterman-Koch reaction, both of them are giving the same products, reagents are different. Here in Gatterman-Koch we are using carbon monoxide, while here we are using HCl. Okay. We have learned about Fries rearrangement, right? The Fries rearrangement can also be done by, photolysis, means using light. So when you use light also, we will have radicals forming, and those radicals, what I meant to say is this O, C double bond O, R on treating with H nu, it will get into radical formation O dot and RC double bond O dot, and this RC double bond O dot can combine at ortho and para position, and that's how you will get this. So even if it is a photolysis also, we will see Fries rearrangement happening. Correct? So these are these three reactions: Gatterman-Koch, Gatterman, and Fries with photolysis or photo-Fries rearrangement. Correct? Last thing, we have already learned about Clausius rearrangement. In anisole, during anisole we have learned this already. So let me revise, and one important case what we need to check out, we will focus on that. See here, what we have seen in Clayton's rearrangement is that if we have an allylic position with the oxygen here, you can see this is an allylic carbon, right? Then on heating, any of this ortho position or para position will get rearranged and you will get this product. 85% of this case is been observed to be ortho product. So ortho would come as the major product because concerted rearrangement, this concerted rearrangement is more favorable rather than a complete carbocation formation. So once you get a complete carbocation formation, that might attack at the para position, but concerted steps will always give you major products. So you would see what is the mechanism happening on heating here, right? So first the pi bond which is present here, you can see the pi bond which is present here is attacking on this carbon 14. This is carbon 14, right, as an electrophilic site. So the bond will shift onto, this bond will shift here as a double bond, and this bond is breaking to make it as oxygen minus, and that in turn will become a double bond character here. So you can see a 6-membered ring type of a formation is observed, which brings that extra stability for the transition state. So what you have seen is, we can see C double bond O formation, then this carbon has connected with this carbon, carbon 14, right, and double bond has formed here, and on heating, carbon hydrogen bond will break to retain the aromaticity, and thereby you will get this OH, and 14 carbon has been attached on the allylic 14 carbon has been attached as the electrophile, and that is a major product. We have seen one of the cases here as yesterday, that in case if we have two methyl groups already filled, then the chance would be more about para position only, so it has to go for para position. We have seen both can be formed, 14 carbon can come here, 14 carbon can come here at the terminal position, and it has been found that this 14 carbon outside, which means it is which means this carbon, if you check out, this carbon is the one which is attaching to the para position. So this carbon is the one which is attaching here, so that has become the major product as compared to that of this carbon connecting here. Okay, so there are two mechanisms suggested here. One is a carbocation mechanism. So we can see that through carbocation mechanism, I already showed you how it works. So first oxygen will close it as a double bond, break this, carbocation is formed, allylic carbocation is formed, and from para position, because you can see these two are closed here, these two are completely closed here, so therefore electrons from the para position only will attack that carbon, so we will get this group, and it will try to close the bond to retain the aromaticity, and finally we will get this position. So this we can get for both sides, right, because this allylic carbocation which is forming is in resonance stabilized with this form also. So suppose if carbon 14 is here, both side attack can be possible, so it could be 50-50%, but still this one is coming out to be major product. So there is an alternate mechanism that is suggested for it, that in case like earlier also I said, if there is a concerted step which is happening, that would happen at a much faster rate. The same thing is observed here. See what is happening. First the pi bond here, as usual, it is connecting, this pi bond is connecting here, okay, and this double bond will shift here. Sorry, made a mistake. Yeah, lone pair is connecting here. So this pi bond is attacking on this carbon, right, and this pi is shifting here, this pi is shifting here, right. So that's how it got connected. Now here we are forgetting that instead of hydrogen there is methyl group here, correct, but observe this carbon is sp3, this carbon is sp3, so it can come from the top here, it can come from the top here, which means it is not a planar, This entire chain is not planar. So in fact the pi can attack on this side simultaneously, and that is what has observed, that this pi will again attack on this position and this pi will move here. So this entire group which is supposed to be forming again, so this bond has broken and this will come here. So the pi would attack there, and you will see this carbon is getting connected here, right? Now the hydrogen is present at para position. There is one methyl here also. Now there is a hydrogen present which will retain the aromaticity. So thereby this normal carbon has connected at the para position, carbon 14 has come out. So this concerted step is what tells us that 80% of the product would be of this kind. So if you were asked the major product in this, then through concerted step, two concerted steps are seen. First it will connect at ortho position. From there, because of its orientation, it can sufficiently attack on this carbon and it will rearrange to para position and finally becomes a major product there. Now this type of rearrangements are called pericyclic rearrangements. You may have seen that in one of the cases, Diels-Alder's reaction. Okay, these types are usually observed in allylic aldehydes, ketones, ethers, and phenols. So because we have already learned about ethers, you may come across those cases. So I've just already put few two, three cases how it happens. Check it out. Suppose if you check out here, this is the ether where this side it is allylic, this side it is vinylic. So this is a vinylic position, this is allylic position ether. And on heating, you will see this kind of a product is forming. And how does that form? Check out. Now on the vinylic position here, on the allylic position here, this sixth carbon will make an attack on this first carbon, and the pi bond from here 1 to 2 will move on to 2 to 3, and 3 and 4 bond will break. Always remember to break the bond at the allylic position only. So you may have seen above also, we are always breaking the position at allylic. Okay, so the allylic bonded carbon oxygen bonded, you break there, and rest all of them make a rearrangement in one step, and then you will see an aldehyde is formed at second and third position here, and this 4, 5, 6, 1 position got connected here. Got it? So that's how the product you will get. So if you were asked about ethers on heating, right? So you can check these cases. Okay, pericyclic otherwise is a very big chapter and it's not there in our course. So I'm only taking one or two cases which might be asked. It is at the boundary line of our course. Check out. Same thing you can see here also. This side it is vinylic, this side it is allylic. So I will be breaking on the allylic side, and from this end it will get connected. This pi will move here, and here the double bond will form. So you can see this will be the product. Okay, so this is about Claisen's condensation, Claisen's reaction. Okay, these are all the name reactions done. Now the last thing which is left out for us is the test for phenols. So just we need to know what are the major tests which we will see for phenols. See, sodium metal test, definitely it will give a positive sodium metal test as it can give the efflorescence of H2 gas. Next, litmus test, it is giving litmus test. We have seen that it will convert blue color litmus solution to red color. Now this is an important test known as the neutral FeCl3 test. Basically this test is more valid for enols. So wherever there is an enol content, sufficient enol content, that means if you have at least 50% and more enol content, you will definitely see this will give a positive reaction. So all the enols will form a complex with FeCl3. So this would give a coloration. and in case of phenols it will give a violet color. See the reaction here, this phenols reacted with Fe plus 3 would form Fe OPH 6 times 3 minus. This is the complex which is formed. You may have seen this kind of a complex formation, right? So if you have this way, iron, got it. Because there is a pi bond, because there is a lone pair that can support here, got it. So the pi star orbital of oxygen would be available for bonding. So synergic effect can also be seen here, got it. So because of that, their DD transition happens better. I mean, you may have learned all of those details, how the coloring happens. So our idea is only here to understand that as long as an enol present, it will start giving coloration with Fe plus 3. So this is used as a confirmation for enols. And what is phenol? Phenol is an enol only, right? Phenol is an enol which is aromatically stable. Otherwise, if you write its keto form, right? So this would be the keto form. Okay, sorry. This would be the keto form. Okay. And you know that this keto form is hardly 1 to 3%, and this is 97 to 99%. So that's why it is giving a positive test, which means in case if you have any enols which have high percentage of enol content, they should also give positive test, which is correct. You can see this one, okay. uh, beta beta keto aldehydes or beta ketones, beta diketones. So in these cases we would have an active methylene which would help to exist this more in enol formation. In both the cases you would have sufficient enol content. That's why they will also give this neutral FeCl3 test. Hence you would see there is a red color pigmentation or a red color solution is formed with FeCl3, which is a confirmation for enols. So in case if a question, any integer type question is framed, you will check out the stable enol or the high content of enol. So it becomes a tautomeric question, but you can relate that with Fe plus 3. Okay. Next, with bromine water, we have seen phenols will give a white color precipitate, okay, which is 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Tribromophenol is formed. With KMNO4 and OH minus, we have seen this will decolorize. It will decolorize and forms brown precipitate, and this brown precipitate is of MnO2, right? Next, can test ceric ammonium nitrate. We have seen this ceric ammonium nitrate. We used to convert primary alcohols to primary alcohols to aldehydes, secondary to ketones. The same thing can be seen here. Phenols can be converted into respective quinones like this. Okay, and you know that in ceric ammonium test there would be a color change which gives us an idea that there might be phenol present. We have already learned about Lieberman nitroso test, which is green converting into red converting into blue. Okay, these are the tests for phenols which you need to check out. Got it? Now that's the last thing. Now these are few extra things which you might see it as questions coming. Sometimes in some different type of reagent is observed, but the purpose is same. For instance, phenol, if you treat that with KMNO4 base, K2Cr27 acid or concentrated HNO3, all of them are very strong oxidizing agents. They will give the formation of quinone. Okay. In case if you have ortho positioned, then Tollens reagent is used. This is ammonium silver nitrate or Ag2O. Any of that will act like a Tollens reagent. We will discuss Tollens reagent in the next chapter, but they will also give oxidizing product this way. Or you can see +3 also, which will reduce to +2 and it will oxidize this phenolic groups, right? So this is one thing. Next, sometimes you would be given the questions based on these epoxides. Check out the epoxides, how to react. When there is a competition between C double bond O and epoxides lone pair would be more available. So they will get protonated first, and then you can see once the protonation is done, the ring breaking has to be done here. So ring expansion is more favored here. So this bond, this ring will break here, this ring will break, and there would be attack from this end. So this 5-membered ring will become 6-membered ring. So bond here is broken and this will become double bond OH. So this will be the final product. Other cases, I told you that if in case if there is a conjugated double bond, right, with a lone pair, the attack would always be from the lone pair side because it can give a more stable carbocation. So you can get a more stable carbocation here. Then the ring expansion happens. Then this lone pair will attach here. This is like a semi-pinnacle reaction. Okay. Right. Another thing which you need to emphasize is HiO4 special cases. HiO4, if you treat with epoxide, the reaction will take place because it is like epoxide in acidic medium is more or less like 2 OH groups only, because in acidic medium it will uh, definitely break the oxonium ion and forms this diols. So once you get this diols, HiO4 will react, so it will break this bond. But if you have regular ethers, right, CH2O, CH3 and CH2H, then no reaction. So which means ether substituted alcohols, no reaction with HiO4. Similarly, if you have acid at the vicinal position, even that will not make any reaction because acid itself already has become very stable. We cannot say that this is more like an OH group, so we can break the bond here. No. So this is about HiO4 case. Another case while you struggle in the questions is this one. Suppose these two are very good questions. Check out here. This side it is at primary position, this side it is at tertiary position. When lone pair is being treated as a nucleophile, because when it is attacking tosyl chloride, it is a tosylation reaction, then always the less substituted oxygen will attack on it because SN2 will be more favored from this end. So remember this, if you are making oxygen to behave like a nucleophile, always make sure you attack from the least hindered side. So from there it has formed OTS, and then the lone pair on oxygen makes an SN2 reaction, again removes this OTS, you will get this as the product. But if it was about protonation, suppose between these two I have to compare protonation, which rate of protonation is more. Now check out, here it is tertiary, here it is secondary. Got it? Now when it comes to protonation, you have to check out the basic strength. You know that this would have more basic strength as compared to that of this. Got it? So because 3-degree alcohols are more basic as compared to 2-degree or 1-degree. So this will attack better on the proton as compared to this one. So just remember, while you are making a protonation or while you are making a nucleophilic reaction, these two should be taken care of. Right. So there was one question which was there in your sheet. This is the last thing, I will close it now. Check. One question which was there here. On one side there is an OH, the other side there is a double bond. So it makes us a huge confusion which route we should take, because one thing, HOMO energy wise lone pair is better, but stability of carbocation wise double bond is better. Got it? See both the routes here. Suppose if oxygen's lone pair is attacking on, it is getting protonated. Okay. Just now I told you between 1-degree, 2-degree, if you check out, or primary, definitely this attack would be having less rate as compared to that of 2nd degree or 3rd degree. Anyways, it is given primary here, so we have attached here OH2 plus as form. What we might be expecting that this pi will attack here. Now because the chain length is longer, okay, this attack would be reasonably slow. So product formation here, second degree carbocation formation might be forming, but it would be at a slow rate, so the amount forming would be less here. Got it? So which means first it will form this, then the water might attack here, and finally we may have alcohol. So that could be the last thing which you will see. But if you check out the second route where stability of carbocation is giving the priority, so we have a double bond attacking on H plus, we will get a secondary carbocation, then the lone pair from oxygen will make a much better attack, and it will end up forming a 5-membered ether ring. Got it? So here the rate would be faster. One thing, it is forming a secondary carbocation. Second thing, lone pair attack will be at a much faster rate. Got it? Thereby you will get this as the major product. Now if you might come across the thought like, sir, what if this side it is secondary and this side it is also like this? Now these things we cannot comment, because both the products are, both the products will come, but how much amount we can't decide. But if the case is clear cut that alcohol is primary and this is how it is, then definitely the case. Okay, so this is an important question which is there in your book, so please make sure you understand this. Got it? Last thing what you will see, dienophile rearrangement. Dienone rearrangement. We have already seen this, last class, where you have C double bond O. If you have two R groups here and in the presence of H plus, first it will take away that lone pair will take away this H plus. As soon as it takes, this will shift here, this pi will shift here, and as soon as that shift happens, there would be migration. So one of the R will get migrated so that its aromaticity is retained. Okay, so this is dienone rearrangement. And these are the questions which are given, once this question was once asked in JEE. So check out how the rearrangement has to be done. See, now comes the rearrangement of hydrogen and CH3. The migrating aptitude of hydrogen is more, so in that case hydrogen will migrate. Okay. Now here migration, both sides group is same, so it will just connect on this side, so this will be migrated. This last one is a very interesting case. In case we have HBr. If we have HBr, first lone pair will attack on H plus, it will become this. Got it? Now check out here, this is what you will get, and then you rearrange it, you will get a positive charge here. But once you get a positive charge here, there is no group from here to migrate, correct? There is no group from here to migrate. So whatever the nucleophile present in the solution, that will attack. Br minus is present, it will attack. So Br minus comes here, right? Now once you get Br minus, hydrogen is present which can retain the aromaticity, so hydrogen bond will break and the lone pair from this oxygen will take away that H plus. That will take away this H plus. Got it? And aromaticity is retained here. So you can see that bromine will get substituted and meta position. With respect to this OH, it is meta position. These are few cases you need to be careful while solving the questions. In case if any other cases you are coming through, just give me